Okay, hey guys, it's Julian Hemmings here. I haven't done a review in a little while. Um, I gotta say, man, I saw the Eternals opening night in Manhattan, and I gotta say, it's it's an incredible film. I quite frankly believe that the critics are 100% wrong about the film. Uh, this is not, maybe from my perspective, a very messy film. It was very cohesive. Uh, I would consider it a very expansive film. Uh, I think that everyone is giving the film the props on the main basis, which are the actors, and they absolutely deserve the credit. They were incredible. Um, I don't know what is sparking this level of criticism for the Eternals. I don't get it. uh, Quite frankly, I believe that the film, I tend to notice with movie reviewers that they compliment a film who when the film has very little subplots and there's very tight, compact, almost localized film structure. And I think the Eternals is anything but localized. These 10 figures are basically gods, and there is an immense grace to these figures, and they are thousands of years old. So they're going to be all across the globe. They have a very interesting backstory. This is a spoiler review, so I think anyone that doesn't want to hear any spoilers should ditch the review, and I'll give you 5 seconds to do that. So let's give them 5 seconds, guys. Five, four, three, two, one. See you later. The story of Icarus is pretty deep, man. If you've seen a show like Invincible, where the father, who's basically a Superman, who's the Superman archetype, is evil because of his mission that he was placed on Earth. That was to John Campia, whose opinion about the film I kind of disagree with, but he talked about Les Miserables and the officer character, and how this officer character took his own life because he believed in the mission of the law so much and had to violate it out of a sense of loyalty. Um, is similar to what happened with Icarus, who believed in the mission of Ashram so much that he ended up flying too close to the sun and ended up taking his life. There are so many poetic moments within the Eternals that to relegate it as a film that doesn't know its purpose or doesn't know its mission or is a sloppy film, I think it's a very disrespectful statement to Marvel Studios and Chloe Zhao. Now, we are all able to have our own opinions. I just deeply disagree with the reviewers. I think the sex scene between Cersei and Icarus was beautiful. Uh, I think that the romance element between the characters was amazing. Fastos being the first LGBTQIA superhero was super impressive. It was not something that felt as if Marvel was pandering to audiences. Instead, it felt very honest. It felt deeply genuine. So, look, I deeply disagree with the critics. I recommend this film to everyone. I think it's something that can teach us more about ourselves. The surprise that I'm so sorry, my nose is stuffed up, guys. It's getting cold here in the city. I think the idea that this film was in some way, shape, or form going to hurt the MCU, I think is very much problematic. I think that this film should spark an MCU a brand new conversation about what is possible. So look, again, I disagree with the critics. I disagree with yeah. I disagree with the critics, man. I think that if you want a whole film, a film that makes you feel full at the end, a film that makes you feel like you paid what it was worth. I even saw the film on IMAX, and it's a beautiful film. You know, the speedster, this woman right here, for her for her to her movement, her combat against Icarus was incredible. They're talking about the let me just make sure I look up some things so I don't get anything wrong. Uh, let me just make sure I look up what's going on right here. I don't want to get anything wrong. People start yelling at me and saying, "Hey, man, you got this wrong. You got this." Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Makari. Yeah. So this woman name is Makari, played by Lauren Ridloff. A a brilliant take on the speedster. She used the speed in the right ways. I've seen. I loved Zack Snyder's Justice League, which a lot of critics didn't like. So maybe I'm on the opposite on the critics, but I loved it, and I feel like Makari's speed element surpassed anything that Zack Snyder did. I think it was brilliant. So look, man, and oh man, how am I not going to mention Karun, man? So Kingo, everybody's talking about Camille Nanjiani's character Kingo, and they're kind of forgetting his sidekick Karun, and talking about how brilliantly funny this film is. Camille Nanjiani brings a great uh, breath of fresh air to this. So look, guys, I I know I'm missing a lot. Um, I know I'm not talking too much, but about oh yeah, oh man, oh my god, how am I gonna forget the deviants? The deviants in this film were terrifying. They were, and I think what made them very terrifying was the savagery that the deviants possessed. And the deviants are arguably much stronger than the Eternals because the deviants have the ability to evolve. Something that the Eternals feel as if not feel something that the Eternals are incapable of doing. So, and the one deviant that evolved to the point where the deviant was speaking was a terrifying character. So, in how its strength and how it took its powers from the Eternals, yeah, I think the idea that this was a weak film, this was that it's worth a 40 something percent on Rotten Tomatoes, giving it like a spoiled tomato, is or a rotten, is unfair. I don't understand it. This is a film who's put its sheer effort out there, and it's more artistic than any other Marvel film. I mean, I remember Doctor Strange was one that took a lot of risk, and I love Doctor Strange, but I'm worried about the power that reviewers have to deter people from seeing excellent films, and deter these bigger corporations like Disney into taking risks that can revolutionize superhero genre. They're calling for the death of the MCU. I think this is a rebirth. So they're wrong. Please go ahead and watch Eternals. It's a wonderful film. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Again, I mean, look, man, I'm not a typical reviewer. I love films, I love movies, and I'm passionate about films. And I'm totally fine with disagreeing with the status quo. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.